folks, you are welcome to this lecture, session 6, which is the last session of Unit 1. And in this session, we are looking at the agency theory and auditing. The agency theory and auditing, finishing on the nature, purpose, and scope of auditing. What are the session objectives? By the end of the session, you should be able to explain how auditing can be applied to agency theory. So this must be achieved at the end of the lecture. Now, agents and principles. Agents and principles. Modern organizational theory views an organization as being composed of different interest groups. Now, the relationship between the various interested parties in the company are often described in terms of agency theory. The agency relationship occurs when one party, the principal, employs another party, the agent, perform a service on his behalf. So, for example, the directors of a company can be seen as the agents of the shareholders, employees as the agents of the directors, and auditors as agents of shareholders. So, when it comes to the firm, this is how it works. Directors are seen as agents of shareholders, employees are seen as agents of directors, and auditors are seen as agents of shareholders. And this is the principal agent relationship. Now, each principal must recognize the fact that although he is employing the agent will have interest of his own and to protect, and thus may not fully carry out the requirement of the principal. So the interest of the agent is different from that of the principal, which is creating the agency conflict. Now, let's look at the agency conflict. The directors have a duty of stewardship of the company's assets. However, they are also interested in their level of remuneration, and if this increases, the assets of the companies goes down. Now, the decision to award the directors pay increase is effectively in the hands of the directors themselves. So if they want to increase their own salaries and stuff, it is in their own hands. The auditors submit their report to the shareholders. However, one thing we need to know that the auditors know the decisions to reappoint is effectively in the hands of the directors. So for the auditor to be reappointed, it is in the hands of the directors, but they give their report to the shareholders. Now, they therefore have a potential conflict in carrying out their function and also remaining on good terms with the director. Now, this agency relationship need to be recognized so that perhaps steps can be taken by principal to ensure that an agent works close to the interest of the principal. So in summary, we've looked at the agency theory and auditing, and we basically says that there is a principal agent relationship when it comes to auditing, that the principal, which is a shareholder, engage the services of an auditor which become agent, and then these agents have to report to the principal, but there are some interests of the agent which differs from that of the principal, and this will kind of create the agency conflict. And if these conflicts are identified, there could be steps taken to minimize them. That is what the session has presented, and that brings us to the end of Unit 1, which talked about the nature, purpose, and the scope of audit. Read the model, solve more questions to enhance your understanding. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture.